Marco here, and this is going to be your Friday video report. 70, 53, and 3 run with the free picks after giving you a winner Thursday night with Connecticut outright over San Diego State, when pretty much everybody out there in the gambling world was in love with the Aztecs. God knows why. Free pick coming up in just a moment on North Carolina and Marquette, plus a repeat of that money-saving discount coupon code. If you didn't take advantage of it yesterday, certainly do so today to save some money. Plus a breakdown of how the tournament has gone so far, plus in the Sweet 16 round as well, from an ATS and historical perspective. Now yesterday, I happened to have a $20 play on the Florida Gators, and I had done yesterday's video and yesterday's website, updated it all here, a couple hours before my father had passed away yesterday morning. As I've related to you a few times over the past couple of years, you know, he had a terminal cancer. He fought the good battle, but finally it won. But you know, it's true what they say about he's certainly in a better place than all of us here. You've got to certainly believe that in your heart. And listen, there's so many of you watching it. You've lost loved ones as well, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Definitely a man's man. One of those guys. He always said, you know, a man's man. That's what you wanted to be. And he was definitely one of those man's man. I'll tell you that much. You know, there was a right way, a wrong way, and his way. Now, me and him, we didn't always see eye to eye, butting heads a few times on what was his way. But definitely the way he raised me is the way it shaped me, and it's the way I raised my son. And I'm sure, again, that is what so many of you out there can relate to. But it's interesting, you know, we go out in this world one of two ways. We either go suddenly and unexpected, or we go someplace, go out in a way which can be dictated to a certain extent. Having a terminal illness, that is something he's certainly done in this particular case. So, you know, things that had to be said, things that you wanted to memorialize, you had a finite time, but you at least were able to plan for all those things. By comparison, of course, you know, and I'll use an example. My partner here with this company, Steve Budin, lost his father a couple of years ago, suddenly and unexpectedly. You know, so sometimes you don't get that chance to say goodbye. And if I can impart one word of wisdom, which means more than any gambling tip that I can give you, any free pick I can give you, any free premium play winner, you know, don't put off until tomorrow, guys, what you could have done today. The other thing interesting about my dad, he subscribed to Teddy Roosevelt's theory of speak softly but carry a big stick. Sometimes that big stick was a baseball bat, and sometimes it was, well, more times than not, it was his left and his right. I think his right was a little more effective, saw that in use a lot of times over the years. You know, in this business, you deal with a lot of cockroaches. I mentioned one of them a couple of days ago, a former employee who's just insanely jealous of my success, the company's success, and the fact that we didn't want him around anymore because, well, you know, he was just a malcontent in my eyes. Cockroaches. You know, what am I supposed to do? It's like the guy who about 6-7 months ago said that I was making up my father's illness. Are you kidding me? Who would ever stoop that low? Now, there may be some scumbags in this business that maybe would. Certainly wouldn't surprise me, but I mean, how disgusting was that? But you know what? What am I going to do? Wish the worst on these people? Give them the evil eye? Being Italian, I certainly know what the deal is there. I mean, no. You know, because ultimately, they will get theirs in the end, and that's something we all understand as well. So, thank you, and again, for many of you that wrote in, I just want to thank you all for your kind words and notes over the past year and a half, too. It's much appreciated. Now, let me start here with giving you a repeat in that money-saving discount coupon. It is Sweet 16. Sweet 16 will save you $16 off of any single purchase you make today. It's a one-time usage coupon. So if you didn't take advantage of it yesterday, you can certainly use it today. Sweet 16 will save you $16 off your purchase today. One-time usage coupon. You don't have to buy my place. You can buy anybody's place here at the site. And remember, these discount money-saving coupons are only available here on the video. As far as how this tournament is broken down, I've told you many times over the past week and a half that it is all cyclical. So many people get wrapped up into these trends. And if you find me 2 trends that support Team A, I swear to God I'll find you 10 that support the other side. That's how it goes. Trends, you know, you take it for what it's worth. Although I will admit, you know, history does repeat itself if you find the right trends. So I pointed out that in the Sweet 16 round, favorites were 6-2 each of the past 2 years, 17-7 the past 3 years. But the 3-year period prior the favorites were 8-15-1 against the spread. So what happened last night? We had 3 underdogs not only cover, but they won the game outright, continuing the dogs' run in this tournament as the puppies are now 30-21 against the spread. But I think the most amazing factor here is that 19 of those 30 underdogs, almost 65%, have won the games outright. And that goes to what I've always said. If you have a big play on a dog, if you really, really love that dog, why not make a smaller play on them as a money line wager? It makes perfect sense. A smaller play on the money line wager at great odds sometimes, if you really are in love with a dog. Now, in terms of double-digit favorites, in the Sweet 16 since 1999, they are 9-5 against the spread. That is the exact same number, 9-5 ATS, that the double-digit pups are so far in this tournament. You've got one going tonight, Kansas, laying 10.5 against a Richmond team that's been money in the bank over the years as a puppy as well, especially as a double-digit chalk, so it'll be interesting, double-digit dog. It'll especially be interesting to see how that plays out. Hey, alluding to that history repeating itself. Yesterday, I told you Duke may have some trouble as defending champ, and what happens? Well, the defending champs are now 1-5, 0-6 against the spread since 2002 in the Sweet 16. Before I get to your North Carolina Marquette pick, just a reminder, you know, there is NBA action going here tonight, and it happens to coincide with the free tournament that I am running in conjunction with DraftStreet.com. You can see the ad right underneath this video. Al DeMarco's $200 Tournament Bankroll Challenge. That's $200 of my money up at stake tonight. Listen, fantasy leagues, rotisserie leagues, they estimate that nearly 30 million people play in them annually. I've been doing it since, my God, the mid-'80s. I just love it. I'm a junkie for those type of things. The great thing about it with DraftStreet.com, you know, you can make money betting, quote-unquote, in your rotisserie league, your fantasy league setup, and it's perfectly legal. Absolutely perfectly legal because they consider it a game of skill. Now, why sports betting and poker playing aren't games of skills? God knows. I don't make the laws, you know, and I'm not here to tell you why or why not. All I know, it's a game of skill, so it's perfectly legal. Here's the deal. There's a $200 tournament here tonight. The top 5 finishers finish in the money. And of course, you're playing against total strangers, and you're playing against my team as well. And what you've got to do is you've got to take a look at tonight's games over on DraftStreet.com, and you pick a team of 8 players with a $100,000 salary cap. Each player has an assigned value. Now, listen, you can go for Kobe and LeBron, or you can go for Dwight Howard, for example. But understand, you're going to be paying $17,000 to $20,000 for those premier players, and that would leave you $80,000 in your salary cap to pick 7 other players for the team. And you've got to consider the variables that go into making you a winner in this tournament. You get a point for every single point that your players happen to score. You get 1.25 points for every rebound they collect. You get 1.5 points for every assist they dish, 2 points for every block, 2 points for every steal. The bad side is you lose a half a point every time your team misses a free throw or misses a field goal. So again, take a look. It takes just about 2 minutes to set it up. Take you a few minutes longer, you know, to take a look at the team, all the injury news, all the stuff you need, the relevant stats is over at DraftStreet.com. It is a free tournament, with the exception of that you're playing for my $200. And again, the top 5 finishers finish in the money, and hopefully I will be one of them because you're playing against me. That's over at DraftStreet.com. Finally, let's get to your free pick. I'm going to go with North Carolina minus the 4 points over Marquette. You know, it all comes down to matchups, as I explained to you last night with Connecticut's pick over San Diego State. Listen, this North Carolina team has certainly started slow in recent outings. That's why they failed to cover 5 straight games, starting with the ACC tournament. But they have the matchup advantage here because they play long, okay? And what I mean is they've got 7-foot Tyler Zeller averaging 15.7 rebounds, 6'10 John Henson averaging 9 points, 10 rebounds, 8 straight double-doubles. They've got the height. Both of these teams like to run the floor, but if you don't dominate on the boards, you can't get out of the transition game as easily. There's a reason North Carolina out-rebounded its foes this year by an average of nearly 7 boards a game. They're 16-2 since Kendall Marshall took over at point guard. Marshall coming off a 13.14 assist performance against Washington in the second round. I know Marquette led the Big East in shooting at 47%. I know they beat Xavier and Syracuse, but Xavier struggled in its regular season finale, got bounced from the A-10 tournament early. They had beaten Syracuse in the regular season, and they had the shooting strength to overcome that 2-3 zone. They don't have the height. It's the matchup that makes the difference. That's why I'm willing to lay the 4 with North Carolina. Good luck, everybody, and by the way, thank you to all of those of you out there that sent in nice words over the past couple of years via email, etc. I appreciate it. Good luck, and catch you again on Saturday morning.